Good Friday evening to each and every one of you for another jump into the fire, and it's very, very, very freaking hot. So glad you all could be here. We've got a lot to go over. You saw that photo just a moment ago, and if I need to show it again, I will. That was from the Bradley Central. What's up, Alan? Bradley Central Walker Valley game last night. Now, there were a couple of things. Hi, Kim. You saw the photo. If you're late coming in and you want to see it again, just say, I want to see the photo again. But you could tell that Bradley Central High School did not follow any of the guidelines that were set up by the TSSAA. You could tell by the photo. Hardly anybody had a mask on. There was no damn social distancing, that was for sure. So instead of the TSSAA making recommendations, perhaps Bernard Childress needs to make these rules. Because if this crap keeps up, there's not going to be any more high school football. Now, the reports I got from Soddy Daisy in East Hamilton, Soddy Daisy only allowed in 1,000 people. Kudos to Soddy Daisy. And I understand Bradley and Walker Valley is a money game. But at some point, money be damned. This is becoming commonplace in the state of Tennessee that the recommendations from the TSSAA are being ignored. And that is living proof. Just here, I'm going to show it to you again. Give me a break. They can do better than this. This is on the administration. This is not on Damon Floyd, the football coach. This is on the damn administration of Bradley Central High School. Now, I warned you last week I would call people out. If you do not give a damn about the public health, then don't play football. If you can do it the right way, go for it. Go for it. Just do it the right way. Before TSSAA steps in and tells you stop. Because it will happen. I have all the faith in the world with the folks at Ridgeland, LFO, Ringgold. Those are the three high schools that, I care to mention in North Georgia. The only three that actually I like. Now, there's a special spot for Ridgeland, and I know Karen Hughes and Robbie Roode, if he can get away from professional wrestling for 5 minutes, will do a great job. They'll do a great job at LFO, and they'll do a fine job at Ringgold. It's the Tennessee schools who are dropping the ball. And by the way, I thought I'd come into the kitchen tonight. I'm still waiting on the rain to get here, but it still hasn't. And hello, Susan and Jane. There was also another incident last night during the broadcast of the Bradley Central football game. And let me get the radio station's name in front of me. And I had it here just a moment ago. I think it's 103.1. Maybe Alan can help me out there. But 103.1 broadcasts the Bradley athletic events. Well, that's right. Amy Brown, my daughter, and I got a special request at the end of the show. And while we're at it, Alan, everybody pray. Melissa Baskett's dad is still in ICU on a ventilator with COVID. And he's been in there. It's one of those things up in Cleveland. But Gary Owenby, one of the broadcasters for Bradley Central High School. Okay, I have been in media for a very, very, very long time. And I'm so happy my daughter's watching. And at the end of the show, I got something special I need from each and every one of you. It's very important. But Gary Owenby apparently has been one of the broadcasters for many years. Okay. And in today's climate, I think it's called the Buzz 103.1 or something, Alan. And in today's day and in today's time climate, only an ass would make the comment on air. He's trying to pronounce a player's name. And apparently this guy never graduated. He ain't even as smart as Jethro Bodine because he couldn't have graduated 6th grade. If you can't pronounce the name, just skip it. Skip it. But this jackwagon, Gary Owenby, on air, said, we got too many foreign players. There are too many foreigners. That was the term he used, foreigners. Hi, Alice. You ready to run off and elope yet? The term foreigners. We've got a massive problem in the United States with racial equality. And a jackleg high school football announcer says we got too many foreigners. Or where did we get all these foreigners? Am I wrong in saying that guy is the newest member of the POS list? I don't care if you've broadcast that high school's games for the last gazillion years. You should have enough sense to realize in the year 2020, you don't make the comment on the air, there's too many foreigners. Ask Tom Brenneman with the Cincinnati Reds. Now, Bradley Central and the radio station released a statement, and Mr. Owenby will no longer be allowed to have anything to do with Bradley Central High School. You got to understand. People have got to start understanding. Thank you, Clint Powell. During the break podcast, Clint Powell, primo stuff. People have got to start understanding in 2020. You got to be careful what you say. Excuse me. It's been a long week. You just have to be careful. Tom Brenneman found out. Now Gary Owenby has found out. And soon, and if not already, broadcaster for the Charlotte Hornets has found out. You got to be, and I don't want to use the term politically correct, but realistically, in today's climate, be it in business, sports, whatever, you better be politically correct or it's going to cost you your job, because all it takes is one person. Been there, done that. Trust me. One person. And you're out the door. It's that simple. So let's see if Bradley can get their act together and do things the right way and follow the TSSAA recommendations, because we all know that it's all about the Benjamins, especially when it comes to the TSSAA, the absolute most corrupt high school sports organization in America. Just ask any coach that has to host a playoff game and give practically all of the damn money to the state organization. But let's hope they can get it right, because it's instances like that that are going to kill the football season. Okay. Enough of that tangent, although I may come back to it. Let me do this right now. I don't want to wait till the end. It's been a rather tough week. And folks, throw some prayers up for my daughter, Amy. It's been a tough week, and she's having a mental health crisis. And keep her in your prayers, your thoughts, positive energy, whatever you want to call it, because she needs it. She's struggling, and she needs good things to happen. And that's one of those silent things that you really don't want to talk about in public. Mental health issues. Well, they exist. And it's hitting close to home. And there's something about it. And I got referred to as the Godfather today, because in my mind, family takes precedent over everything. Nothing, not your job, nothing takes precedence over your family. And I can tell you what, if I would lay my life down for my two children, that's a fact. I've been lucky enough to stick around as long as I have. But if the good Lord said, look, we can make everything better, it's your turn. It'll make everything better, though. Hey, I'm in. So keep Amy in your thoughts. Keep Amy in your prayers. I mean, she's struggling, and we're working on it. Help's hard to find. It really is. And competent facilities in the tri-state area are lacking. They really are. It's like, to kind of paraphrase the old commercial, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. It really is. But there are a lot of folks, and you know them, but you might not know they have mental health issues. You never know. The other day, Jane Pauley, who was one of the anchors on the Today Show for many, 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 many years, struggles with bipolar disorder. Now she's the host of CBS Sunday Morning. By the way, the best Sunday. Oh, if you've never watched CBS Sunday Morning, you're missing out. It is good stuff. I've watched it for years and years and years. But you'd be amazed the people you know. If you found you would be shocked in all likelihood to find out someone you know is dealing with a mental health issue because you don't talk about it. People just don't talk about it. And there are and the facilities are so sorely lacking, and the help that people need for those issues. Exactly right. It's like I close every edition. Be kind to each other, because if you're not kind, you don't know what that person's going through. We don't know. Somebody says they're having a bad day. Okay, they may be having a bad day for a reason. Because the mind, it has to be in such balance and harmony. And just the least little thing can cause major problems. And for most people, those are hard to deal with because you don't feel normal. You want to be like everybody else, but your mind won't let you. I sound like a preacher. But think about that. The next time that somebody you know is having a hard time, it may be because they have a mental health issue. And try to be understanding. It's hard as hell, I can tell you that. It's very hard. But if you love them, you'll help them. So keep my daughter in your positive thoughts and prayers, please. Did anybody watch the convention? I didn't. Because that's another instance where last night, COVID-19 protocol be damned. They were going to put on a show. It is what it is. He said it himself. What do? You just try to protect yourself and those that you love. If you wear a mask, thank you. Just do me one favor. And I'm going to scoot to the side of the microphone for just a minute. Make sure the mask is covering your nose. Don't be a half masker. Because a great epidemiologist yesterday said that the infection comes through your nose, not your mouth. And yeah, it's a pain in the butt. I made the joke today. I went to the bank, put my mask on, and I looked at the girl, the teller, and I said, do you realize that humanity is going, after all of this, humanity is going to evolve? Because we've worn masks long enough now to where it's going to be in our DNA to have hobbit ears. Because we've worn masks for months now. But wear the mask over your nose for Pete's sake. I mean, good grief. And if you flat refuse to wear a mask, dude, stay 6 feet away from other people. This stuff is for real. And we got to stop it. And to those who think this is some grand conspiracy, give it a rest. It's not. Nothing's going to change after November, and nothing will change until there's a vaccine. I get a pneumonia vaccination when it is required, and I will get the COVID vaccination. So, did anybody see the report where Jacob Blake was being handcuffed to his hospital bed? Does that not stir something in you? That the police handcuffed him to his hospital bed? Kenosha, Wisconsin Police Department handcuffed him to his bed. He shot in the back at point blank range 7 times. He's paralyzed, but yet they handcuff him to the bed. And they wonder why people, especially people of color, distrust the police. Now, the news broke late this afternoon. They have removed his handcuffs after an outcry. But this just lends into that of distrust of law enforcement. And it's especially rampant in the communities of color. And why the Hamilton County deputy has not made national news, I don't know. But it really should. But that's what they have to deal with. And people got all upset because the NBA players boycotted today. When if you look, one of the players for the Milwaukee Bucks experienced that. Traffic violation and the cops tase him. It's on video. And you wonder why. George Floyd. I mean, a $20 counterfeit bill. I don't want to hear this. If you don't want to get shot, don't resist. Resisting does not justify being shot. It's like deputy, and I think he's got a hyphenated name now that they're using, Long Ross or something. The policy has been released. And you're not supposed to pull your weapon on a traffic violation. So I don't know. But, you know, like I've said before, I support law enforcement. Let's just get rid of the bad eggs. We got to get rid of the bad eggs. They can do a better job in the hiring process. Last night, the New York Mets and the Miami Marlins, a moment of silence, and then they walked off the field and did not play the game. And this will continue for a little while. And Jay Greason of the Times Free Press brought up a very legitimate question. What if high school and college athletes decide to do this? Now, my understanding is Jared Kushner has reached out to LeBron James. Hey, that's a start. All people want to do is get bad cops off the street. That's all. They just want to get bad cops off the street. That's it. Deadly force should be used as a last resort. If that officer's life is threatened, then fine. But that should be it. And keep in mind, there are states where you're not allowed to use deadly force if somebody breaks into your house. Now, in my former profession, you'd usually have 1 or 2 incidences a year where a repossession agent in the state of Texas would be shot and killed while repossessing a vehicle. And those cases were never prosecuted because you can use deadly force to protect what is yours. Even though you're not paying for it, you can shoot and kill the repo man. And the scary part is, under federal debt collection law, a repossession agent cannot be armed. Under federal debt collection law, the repossession agent cannot defend himself. And those laws have been on the books for many, many, many decades. Now, bounty hunter can defend himself, but a repossession agent can't. It's just one of those things that we have to deal with, I guess. But what the hell? Mocs Volleyball announced today they're going to play one match this fall against Georgia State on September the 12th. And there's actually going to be football on television this weekend, college football. It's all going to be FCS level, and Austin Peay and Central Arkansas kick it off Saturday. So I know several schools have set up schedules. The Mocs are only going to play the one game. And it is what it is. And next year will be better. I just want everything over by the time February gets here. Because I am giving very careful consideration and right now I'm kind of torn. It's time to slow it down. In just a couple of weeks, this handsome mug turns 64. And it's time to slow down. And time to pass things on to the younger generation. So we're giving serious thought to, I ended the high school announcing of my own accord, although I would not do it this year due to COVID. But giving some serious thought to just saying it's time to take it easy for a while. And bringing those things to an end. Because 15 years is a long time. That's a long time. And I'll take your feedback, whether to totally retire and just do this or keep doing what I'm doing on a limited basis. There are just some things that I want to see happen before I pack it in for good. And I want to see number 4 hit another home run. Want the chance to see a couple of more championship banners hoisted before I pack it in for good. So your input would be appreciated. And there's one that really I've got to cut back on because it just is very, very taxing. It's very taxing. And the thought is going through my mind. I just don't want Alice to shoot me if I decide. Because Alice will hunt me down and abuse me if I do. We got some guests lined up for next week. Let's hope the rain and the bad weather hold off. Oh, I wish I felt that young, Kim. Let's hope the rain holds off. We don't need this stuff. Hello to Michelle, my friend in California. I love you no matter what. You are an awesome family. And even my daughter chimes in. But we're just going to have to wait it out and see. We're just going to have to wait it out. If my January after this week, Sheila Smith, one of the finest people walking this planet. And she was there when I got to have a lifetime memory in working alongside Randy Smith in the broadcast booth. And I will go to my grave saying Randy Smith should be the voice of Tennessee football. No question. When you turn on the Vol network, it should be Randy Smith doing the play-by-play. But got a couple of interesting guests. You'll be kept updated on who they are. One of them is a pretty good person on the radio right now. And they're part of my morning ritual while I chug-a-lug my half-calf coffee. Oh, what fun. Hey, it actually works. Number one, if you're trying to cut down on caffeine, go half-calf on the coffee. You do not have the headache. You still get a little bit of a jolt, but not nearly as bad. And you won't have the headache as if you switch to if you try to decaffeinate yourself altogether. Everything in moderation can be okay. It's like my doctor says, you can have barbecue. You just can't eat it every day. Okay? Makes sense. She would like if I moderated out the cigarettes a little bit, but don't drink, don't smoke. Well, I smoke, but you know what I mean. And so what? But let's just be looking forward to November coming and going, no matter what the outcome is. And maybe civility will return. I hope. Hello, Big Kahuna. And don't forget, Chattanooga Live, the Big Kahuna, tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, sir. I hope that's correct. But once again, we're going to call it a night. Please keep my daughter Amy in your thoughts and prayers. And I don't know, Shirley, if it'll be in November when the virus ends. But if everybody just does their part, just do your part, things will be okay. I can assure you of that. Things will be okay. It's not the end of the world. I've talked to too many biblical experts. These aren't the last days. You're not going to go to hell if you vote Democrat. You just vote your conscience. And I think we're really going to lighten things up Monday night. I want you to think about some things. It may be time Monday night to reveal the Rushmore of Chattanooga music. It might be time to reveal that. We've got some good folks that have been nominated. Roger Allen Wade, Jerry Haskew, Jimmy Tallwater, Bessie Smith, Danny Shirley. No. If you're watching Nick Monsanto, no Kane Brown. No Lauren Elena. Give me a career. Roger, Danny, and Jerry are still out there playing music. Come see me 25, 30 years from now. Then you might get consideration. The Impressions, Rock and Roll Hall of Famers. Usher, it's possible. I don't want to antagonize my high school classmate, Danny Shirley, but it's possible. And now Roger Allen Wade, the big hit he had, Country State of Mind, with Hank Jr. recording it. Now I think it's Josh Turner has released it as a single. So Roger's going to start really watching the money roll in. And don't forget, September 12th at the Depot in Ringgold, it'll be the Music Man Jerry Haskew and Roger Allen Wade. And if it can be where I can attend, I may attend that. That's entirely possible. It just depends on how Ringgold handles. Let's see. Where didn't Danny play in the 70s? Shirley. And he's still out there plugging away. Went down there and had a little mini class reunion, spent some time backstage with Danny, and still out there plugging away. But it'll be interesting. So send me your recommendations, and we might reveal it Monday night. Don't forget the newest member of the POS Hall of Fame, or whatever you want to call it, Gary Owenby. Bradley Central High School broadcaster, and his comment that he made last night on the air, we got too many foreigners on the team. All because he couldn't pronounce a guy's name. Seems a little odd, doesn't it? But thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I know I've been scatterbrained tonight, but I think you got a little idea of what this week has been like. And it's been tough, but we can see light at the end of the tunnel. We just got to get to the other side, and everything's going to be wonderful. We will be back Monday night, 7 o'clock. We hope you're here. Thank you so much, everybody. Remember, you get my opinion, but we try to do it in an entertaining way. Don't forget, we're live on YouTube also, and follow me on Twitter at RZR Hall. And until Monday night at 7 o'clock, guess what it is?